Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, YAHAWAH, BaHa SHAM, YAHAWASHI, BaHa SHAM, RAWCHAA QADASH. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. All right, and what you're about to witness, all right, is a so-called Christian, all right, go completely mad, all right, when it comes to biblical prophecy, all right? And pretty much this is an excerpt from Friday's street preaching, all right, which an individual who's come up to us a few times before, all right, a known Christian apologist, or whatever he calls himself. Jesus is the word. All right, he came up with his wife and a so-called Mexican, and ultimately spewing the same nonsense. And pretty much, you know, we walked up to the camp, and if you want to see, you know, the other clip of it, because I started this video here, all right, you know, mid debate with this guy, but if you want to see the other part of it, all right, in the back and forth, you can go to the page GMS End of Day 7, where ultimately the brothers were already teaching and going back and forth with him, all right. And at this part, you know, pretty much I started to where I walk up and I noticed that this is Jesus is the word. And the last time he came up to our camp, we asked him about Daniel, the 9th chapter, and he went completely left. So here, you know, here it is. We're going back and forth with this individual and his, you know, friend. And basically it's the same nonsense, you know. Do we have to, you know, baptize ourselves to be, you know, saved? You know, Jesus' sacrifice covers all nations and not just the nation of Israel. You know, pretty much the same rhetoric. So we started asking him about prophecy, and he started going into prophecy. And that's pretty much where you're going to get a Christian, all right, to show that they have really no idea what the Bible is talking about. You know, they know some things, but when it comes to prophecy, they go completely left. So I wanted to play this excerpt, and then I wanted to get into the book of Revelation, the 11th and 18th chapter, because basically what he's going to say is that Babylon the Great is Israel. Okay? So let's hear it out of his mouth, and then ultimately we'll get some scriptures and close this out. I don't want to make it super long, but, you know, if you want to get a Christian, pretty much just start asking them about the throne of David, and you'll see they're completely clueless that it has anything to do with the kingdom of heaven. See, they don't know and understand that. We asked them about the throne of David, and it was kind of like a foreign concept that really had nothing to do with anything. When you get the scriptures, let's get Isaiah, the 9th chapter. In the 6th verse, it says, "For us, unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government," see, when you think of the kingdom of heaven, when we speak of the kingdom of heaven, we speak of it associated with a government, all right, that is going to be established on earth. Christians don't view it like that, okay? They're all over the place, okay? And what is that government going to entail? All right, so the government shall be upon his shoulder, all right, this particular child that's going to be born, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. All right, these are titles given, all right, to the Son of the Most High. It says, "Of the increase of his government, okay, there shall be no end." Let's look up this word government, all right, because when we talk about the kingdom of heaven being established on earth as it is in heaven, okay, that's like a foreign concept, okay, unto Christians. So, huh? What do you mean? See, they associate heaven with, you know, the heavens, you know, I don't know where they stand. They're all over the place. At one point, we know Christians would talk about heaven as merely being in the the second heaven, past the, where we're just going to be floating around. But since the Israelites have come out, they've tried to change some of their stances and try to go in the scriptures, but they still don't get it, because when you deal with a order that's going to be set up on earth, that means they're going to be subjects. There's going to be judgment. Okay. And the thought of that really messes with their minds. So they don't want to fully commit, okay, to that prophecy. The word for government is ma-shara. All right. Ma-shara, rule, dominion, government. All right. And the root word is shara. All right. To contend, to have power, to contend with, to persist, to exert oneself. Okay. What does exerting oneself mean? Okay. And this word is in Jacob's name. All right. It says exert, to apply or bring, bear, force, influence. See, the word government, to govern, is to control, mente, the mind. Okay. So the Israelites under YAHAWASHI are going to have the highest influence, and they're going to exert themselves. They're going to bear, apply, bring into play, exercise, employ, and utilize what? Pursuant to the Bible. Okay, many nations will have to come to the government, the mountain of the Lord, to learn righteousness. Boom, empire. Okay, a government, rule, dominion. That's what's coming to the earth under who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. And under him will be the 144,000, and the 12 disciples will be at the head of that. Okay, and after that, you're going to have the large multitude, the rest of the men, women, and children whom the Lord, all right, is ultimately going to have mercy on. So Isaiah 9:7, of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end. All right, upon the throne of David. All right, and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice. From henceforth forever, the zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform, all right, this. Okay. The Lord sent a word unto Jacob and have lighted it upon Israel. All right. And our people don't want to hear this, but when you deal with Christians, when you try to talk about the kingdom of heaven being established on earth, judgment coming to the heathen nations, and everything else the Bible talks about, get Daniel the 7th chapter, they don't want to deal with it. All right. Because this empire and rulership that has a grip on the planet earth has to fall. All right. In order for the kingdom of heaven to be set up. All right. Daniel 7. All right. And 13. And I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the cloud of heaven. All right. Clouds of heaven, the chariots, and came to the Ancient of Days. All right. He was brought forth before the Most High. All right. Because it was time for him to return and set up judgment. And they brought him near before him. And there was given him dominion and glory, okay, in a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Okay, and that entails full dominion over the earth, over the nations. Let's get the book of Psalms, the 2nd chapter, real quick. Psalms 2 and 6. I have set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord, Yahawah, have said unto me, thou art my son. This day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Okay? Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Okay, so this is what YAHAWASHI is coming to do. Now, Christians, to a degree, they'll say, well, yeah, that's what Christ is going to do. But see, what they don't want to deal with is the fact that he's going to give that authority, all right, as well to his church. Okay, because what did he give to Peter? He gave him the keys. As a matter of fact, real quick, the keys. All right, Matthew 16 and 19. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Who was he speaking to? Peter. Matthew 16 and 18. And I say unto thee, thou art Peter. All right. Petra, rock. And upon this rock will I build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Okay, the church is ultimately the 144,000. Okay, it starts with the 12 disciples. Okay, and then it said, and then you have the large multitude. That's the remnant. All right, but the church starts with those who go out and call out, those who have received the word. And I'll give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou loose in earth shall be loosed in heaven. So this is, all right, full, all right, dominion and authority. All right, when you look up this word keys, it's kleis. Okay, and I'm gonna just get to the point. It says metaphorically in the New Testament to denote power and authority of various kinds. So there's various kinds of authority, all right, that the Messiah, all right, got from his Father, that he shares with the church. Okay, so let's see what the root word is. Okay, to cause the heavens to withhold rain, metaphorically of basically power. Okay, and ultimately, when you read Revelation, the second chapter, and then we'll get to the clip. Revelation 2 and 25, but that which ye hath already hold fast till I come. He's speaking to the churches, right? Okay, as a matter of fact, let's go say it at the end. It says, he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. All right, as the vessels of a potter, they shall be broken in pieces, even as I have received of my Father. So the authority that the Messiah is going to, inherit, which his sacrifice sealed the deal. Okay, he's going to share that authority with his people. Okay, the Israelites, and I will give him the morning star. He's going to put the light in you, the law, statutes, commandments in you, the new covenant. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. So this is to be told to the churches. And as we go out and we're telling our people this type of authority is coming, we're going to rule over the heathen. The heathen in their fear tried to associate that with us being terrorism. As Jesus' the word started to lose the argument, he said, well, aren't y'all going to rape and kill people in the kingdom of heaven and all of this and this and that? Because he knows those talking points make us to look crazy. All right. Well, let's get Luke, the 22nd chapter, around the 30. Let's see here. Boom. Luke 22 and 28. Ye are they which continue with me in my temptations, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father hath appointed me, that ye may eat and drink at my table. All right, and sit on thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So being heirs to the promise, all right, of the land that was, promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, comes with an authority. All right, a government is going to be set up in Jerusalem, in that land, that promised land. And you think we're just going to go to the promised land and sit there? No, the promised land was set for what? The teaching of peace to be spread throughout the four corners of the earth. Okay, that's what ultimately, when we return to that land under YAHAWASHI, that's what we're going to do. All right, we're going to what? Have authority. Okay, Daniel 7, and then we'll jump to that clip. All right, Daniel 7 and 26. But judgment shall sit after the fall of the revival of Rome, this beast system, Babylon the Great. In this beast system, it says, and they shall take away his dominion to consume and destroy it unto the end. Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. See? So the Most High has ordained his son, given him power, authority in heaven and in earth. And ultimately, there's a remnant, there's a church, the first fruit spirits that ultimately he's going to share that authority with, all right, which is going to eventually trickle down to all Israel being in a safe place, all right, and the heathen being subject to that kingdom. So without further ado, that's what we teach, see, and that's associated with judgments. Okay, as we were going into here, you could watch, you know, the first, you know, the part where I walked up and turned the camera on here on RemnantSaved144, but the fullness of it, if you want to see the whole back and forth with Jesus is the word before we came up and, you know, the full thing, you know, you can go here to GMS End of Day 7, right? But I wanted to just play this part so we can laugh and ultimately show you that these Christians just don't have it when it comes to biblical prophecy.
Is this going to be in the future, or did this already happen already, right? For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
It's happening now. America's a perfect example.
So the kingdoms that will not serve thee will utterly be wasted.
See, they don't want to associate what we're saying as biblical prophecy. I believe that's Isaiah 60:1. Okay, now he just said that this is happening now. All right, Isaiah 60:1, glorify Zion. This is speaking of when the Israelites received the promise, the blessing. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. All right, so the destruction that's going to come, okay, the gross darkness that's upon the earth, all of these wicked philosophies. But the Lord is going to what? Have mercy on his people. And eventually, we know, according to prophecy, he's going to set up a righteous kingdom. Okay, so the destruction and everything that's going to come, all right, the elect are going to be delivered up out of that. His glory is going to be seen upon the elect. And the Gentiles, all right, the actual heathen, all right, shall come to thy light, and the kings to the brightness of thy rising. All right, and that's symbolic of the kingdom that's going to be set up. All right, Malachi, the 4th chapter, or Micah, the 4th chapter. Okay. In 1, but in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. And many nations shall come and say, let us go to the mountain of the house of the Lord, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways. See, this is what they don't want to deal with. Okay, the true biblical Israelites under YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, are going to establish a government. Okay, the mountain of the house of the Lord is that government. Okay, the word mountain in the Hebrew, all right, is hara, hill, mountain, mount. Okay, and that's symbolic of governments in the Bible. All right, harar, mountain, hill, country. All right. And this is symbolic of what? Rulership. Okay? It says promotion. Okay? And the temple itself was set up on a mountain. Mount Moriah. See? So this is symbolic of a government. Because why would the Lord just put just a mountain there? All right? No, and people are going to come up to a mountain looking to be taught. No, this is symbolic, man. Okay. Mount Zion is that mountain. The Israelites. So the heathen are going to what? Come up to that and teach, and they're going to be taught the ways of the Lord, showing you they won't be under the second covenant. And we will walk in his path, so the law shall go forth with Zion. So that's what this is talking about. So all you got to do is go into prophecies, and Christians will show that they're completely done. Just start asking them about prophecies. Okay, verse 4, lift up thine eyes round about and see all they gather themselves together, they come to thee. Thy son shall come from afar, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. All right, which that goes to another prophecy. All right, how these heathen will be our nursing, their queens and their kings will be our nurses, basically symbolic that they're going to serve us. All right. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee. All of the riches of the earth, all right, that are under the control of the powers that be, there's going to be transferred to the rightful owners of it. See, the forces of the Gentiles, okay, shall come unto thee. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. All right. And the dromedaries of Midian, and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense. They shall show forth the praises of the Lord. So this ain't talking about now. This ain't happening now. This is a prophecy of what's going to happen under YAHAWASHI's rulership. Let's get the book of Psalms 72. All right, a prophecy of the Lord's rulership. Okay. Psalm 72:8. He shall have dominion also from sea to sea, and from the river to the ends of the earth. They that dwell in the wilderness shall bow before him, and his enemies shall lick the dust. Okay. The kings of Tarshish, all right, and the owls shall bring presents. The kings of Sheba shall bring and offer gifts. Yea, all kings shall fall down before him. All nations shall serve him. So what this ain't talking about now. Okay. So as you keep going, just to get to the point. All right. Let's just get to the point. Verse 10, the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and the king shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee. We got judged, but in my favor I will have mercy upon thee. Therefore thy gate shall be open continually. All right. They shall not be shut day nor night. All right, because the gates will be shut at the time of war. There ain't going to be no war anymore in the kingdom of heaven. All right, constant, all right, movement, constant flowing of riches and just a constant wealth for the Israelites. Okay, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, that their kings may be brought. For the kingdom and nation that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, all those nations shall utterly be wasted. So he said that this is talking about now. Okay? The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, the box together, the beauty to beautify the place of my sanctuary. It's going to be all kind of trees. Okay? It's going to smell good. That land, all right, once we beautify it and set up order, because it's going to be destroyed, pursuing the prophecy, Ezekiel 38, but it's going to be rebuilt. Okay, the land of Israel. To beautify the place of my sanctuary. Okay, and I will make the place of my feet glorious. Okay, Jerusalem. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and they that despise thee shall bow themselves at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas thou was hated and forsaken, all right, so that no man went through unto thee, like, ugh, them nasty niggas. I will make thee an eternal excellency and a joy of many generations. So, I mean, we don't have to even keep reading. Let's go back here. Let's go back here, around 38.
Serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
It's happening now. America's a perfect example.
So the kingdoms that will not serve thee will utterly be wasted.
Absolutely. Do you believe that America's under judgment?
He equated what we just read in Isaiah 60 as what's happening now. Now, America is being judged, but those are other prophecies we can go to. All right, Isaiah 19. All right, the Lord will mingle a perverse spirit in Egypt. We can go to prophecies to deal with what's happening to America. But let's keep listening to him, which he grew dreads. You know, he got the dad bod now. You know, because the last time he came, we cut him up. You know, he ain't been back. So it's been years since we saw him, you know. So he's back with the same rhetoric, and this is, you know, his Mexican homie. I ain't gonna call him an Issacharite, and his wife.
America is under judgment. What is America? What is America?
It's a land.
According to the Bible, what is America?
If you're going to say Babylon, I don't agree with that. We can go into Revelation.
So where is Babylon?
It's Israel. Babylon was Israel.
He says Babylon is Israel. Look at my man. He says Babylon is Israel. Oh, man. So Israel, which the Lord said is going to be his sanctuary in the kingdom, starting at Jerusalem, because the land of Israel really is the promised land, you know, where all 12 tribes were part. But within that, you have Jerusalem. So according to the Bible, Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed and never inhabited again. Right? Look at this guy.
Babylon the Great, Revelation 18 is Israel.
Yep, you want to go to it?
Yeah, I'm asking you a question. I'll make sure I'm following you.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
So mystery Babylon is Israel.
It was Israel.
Okay.
Yep. So
He shook it.
Israel's going to be destroyed and nobody's going to dwell in it forever.
The two witnesses were beheaded and said, who are spiritual.
So he's linking Revelation 11 with Revelation 18, which we'll touch on those real quick. Get up out of here. But Christians, look at him. He's going mad.
It's talking about the land, and they where they were beheaded. It says, "Who are spiritually Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord." It's a land.
According to the Bible, what is America?
If you're going to say Babylon, I don't agree with that. We can go into Revelation.
So where is Babylon?
It's Israel. Babylon
is in Israel.
was Israel. According
Babylon the
to
Great, Revelation 18 is Israel.
Yep. You want to go to it?
Yeah, I'm asking you a question. I'll make sure I'm following you.
Yeah, it was
So
absolutely.
mystery Babylon is Israel.
It was Israel.
Okay.
Yep. So
Israel's going to be
the
destroyed
two
and nobody's going to
witnesses,
dwell in it
the
forever.
two witnesses were beheaded and said, who are spiritually, it's talking about the land, and they where they were beheaded, it says, who are spiritually Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
So that's Israel?
Was America was Christ crucified in America?
Again, symbolism. Is it a literal virgin? So is that a literal America? Is that a literal Sodom and Egypt? It's a spiritual Sodom and Egypt.
But where the land where he was crucified was.
And he see that symbolizes that beer, that tall can he just drunk and threw on the ground. That symbolizes the wine of Christianity, the confusion of Christianity.
Christ crucified here?
Yes, he's being crucified right now.
Come on, bro.
They're Xing him out here every day. They're taking away man.
Where was the blood?
And why is she there? Making fake, you know, the women. I hate to see women in the midst of men, you know, as if she's some of the. Get out of here. Tired of you know. Oh my goodness, man. You Christians are completely out of order, man.
Where was all the blood of the prophets and saints spilled? Where was it? According to Christ.
Did not he tell them that they were going to...
Now, the blood of the prophets, all right, were spilt, all right, in the ancient Roman Empire while Rome was ruling, okay? But guess what? The Lord told his disciples, which, you know, we ain't got to bring it out, that they're going to preach and prophesy in the uttermost parts of the world, okay? And the Roman Empire, all right, has been extended, okay? It has been extended, all right, through the Renaissance period, all the way up to Babylon the Great. In this beast system, the NATO and the EU that rules today, it is Rome all over again.
Teach on the uttermost parts of the world?
Wait, according to Matthew chapter 23, he said, do as your fathers, fill up the sins of your fathers and kill the rest of the prophets.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
So they don't think the prophets are back. You know, they don't understand the Bible.
So just off what you just said, you said that in Revelation 18, Babylon the Great, that's mentioned as Israel, correct?
Yep.
So when
the fall in 70 AD.
Listen, so when John received this vision, right, who was in power?
Who was in power?
Yes.
The Romans. It was what's his name? It wasn't Pontius Pilate. I mean,
The
Herod.
Rome. You said it.
It wasn't Rome. Because
So Rome wasn't in power when John received the vision on the Isle of Patmos. Hey, you Christians gotta go, man.
Rome came and conquered them in 70 AD.
Rome was ruling before 70 AD. You see, but there was given power to a notable family. All right, the Herodians were given power and jurisdiction over Rome. Okay, the Israelites were in that land, the Jews were in that land. All right, but it was in subject, it was a vassal to the Roman Empire. Okay, you got to know your history. The Israelites weren't ruling at that time. Okay, they were able to, have their temple, their customs, but they paid tribute and they were vassals to the Roman Empire, which is why you had the Zealots, okay, and the Israelites pushing to get from under the Roman authority. And in Acts, the 1st chapter, okay, the disciples, before YAHAWASHI, returned back to the heavens, we'll just get it. All right, Acts, the 1st chapter, red letter, that thing. What were they asking the Lord? Acts 1:6. When they would therefore come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? So he's confusing. It's like this dude's confused. Why would they ask for the kingdom to be restored to Israel if they were ruling? No, they were able to, keep their customs. Okay. But they were in subject to the Roman authority. That's why you had the Herodians calling themselves king of the Jews. If the Israelites were in their power, all right, with a sovereign, all right, government, Rome wouldn't have had the power they had. There wouldn't be no Herodian dynasty talking about we're the king of the Jews, which they were Edomites. This guy's completely gone.
How
So after the Greek captivity, who ruled?
What do you mean after the Greek? Israel. Israel
Ruled after the Greek captivity. So when you go to Daniel, the 7th chapter, oh my goodness, the vision of the 4 beasts. All right, in verse 4 you have the Assyrian Babylonian Empire. In verse 5 you have the Medes and the Persians. Verse 6 you have the Greeks, which is like unto a leopard, the start of this beast system. And then in the 4th, okay, you have Rome. All right, but the thing about this, all right, is that as he considered the horn, Rome, all right, there came up among them another little horn. That's America. That's the revival of Rome. See? Israel doesn't reign again until that little horn is destroyed, pursuant to prophecy. Okay? As you read Daniel's vision, that this horn would make war with the saints and prevail against them. All right, Daniel 7, all right, and 21. And I beheld the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. So this hasn't happened yet. This is going to happen under the revival of Rome being destroyed, which is Babylon the Great. So again, this just shows you Christians do not know prophecy. Israel did not rule after the Greeks. Israel was able to have a temple. Okay, they were, you had the circumcision, keeping the customs. Okay, this is how YAHAWASHI was able to gather from amongst the Jews, Peter. You all right? Because you have to understand, from that 3rd beast, the Greeks, they Hellenized the Jews, but there was a remnant that stuck to the traditions. All right, and were able to win certain skirmishes and keep the state of the Jews, in a sense, the law, statutes, and commandments, all right, the temple and everything, in some form of upkeep, All right, to where when YAHAWASHI came, you had all of these different, you had the Sadducees, the Sadducees, the Pharisees, the Essenes, the Zealots, and a few other sects, which are camps of Israel, all right, who were around in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, all right, but Rome was ruling. This guy is through.
So you're telling, wait, would you, wait a minute.
It's not right, bro. Come on, man. Stop.
Who destroyed Israel in 70 AD?
The Romans.
So the Romans destroyed their own city that they were ruling?
Yes, the Romans had jurisdiction over Judea. As a matter of fact, let's just type in King Herod real quick. Goodness gracious. Come on, dog. Let's go to, let's go here. King Herod of the Bible. Let's see here. Herod, king of Judea. They called him the king of the Jews, right? Let's see here. Herod was born in southern Palestine. His father, Antipater, was an Edomite. All right. Yada, yada, yada. Let's see here. When Pompey, 106 to 48 BC, invaded Palestine, 63 BCE, Antipater supported his campaign and began a long association with Rome, from which both he and Herod were benefit. 6 years later, Herod met Mark Antony, whose lifelong friend he was to remain. Julius Caesar also favored the family. He appointed Antipater, all right, procurator of Judea in 47 BC, and conferred on him Roman citizenship, an honor that descended to Herod and to his children. Herod made his political debut in the same year when his father appointed him governor of Galilee, 6 years after Mark Antony made him tetrarch of Galilee. So the Romans were ruling, the Jews were in his land, but they gave power, all right, the Roman power structure gave authority to the Herodians, all right, to rule over this region in Judea. That's it. Okay? And as Rome was ruling, you had the rise of the Christians, the followers of YAHAWASHI, and it became a thorn in their side. And eventually, you had the Zealots and all of these other sects rebelling against taxes. And I'm just giving you the history in a nutshell. There's a lot. There's, order to how all of these things happen. There's the Zealots and all of these. They rebelled against the tax. Okay, and all of that. But ultimately, that's where eventually, starting in 66 AD, all of these wars, the Roman Jewish wars. And then in 70 AD, eventually, okay, the Jews were kicked out of Rome. They were kicked out. Okay, the temple was destroyed and everything else. But that's a whole nother history for a whole nother time. But this guy is lost. He doesn't understand Daniel, the 7th chapter. He has no idea what the Bible is talking about. Yet he is like an authority. As a matter of fact, let's see if we can find his page. Okay. I mean, maybe, yeah. I can't find it. Jesus is the word. Debates. Israelites. Let's see. Nah, we ain't gonna be able to find it. Look at this nigga. But he used to have a page. I'm pretty sure it's still up. That's Sakari debating somebody. I don't know. Gorilla Hebrew versus Dr. Brown. Nah, but he had a page. But this guy's done, man. Even my homie with the tall can looking at you like, what?
You're saying that Israel's under the Roman captivity and that Rome was in charge of them, but then they went in and destroyed who they were in charge of?
Are you crazy?
What do you mean?
Oh man, those of you who know history, you know that this guy is completely gone. Rome was ruling, but you had Jews in the region of Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, still keeping the customs and the laws. But a lot of those high priests sold out to the Roman Empire. So when the followers of YAHAWASHI started to get hot and big, it created a disruption in Rome. Eventually, Israelites, the Jews, were kicked out of Rome. But there was a history that goes to that, man. This guy is gone.
Am I crazy?
Take a deep breath. You're so ready to argue, you're not thinking straight.
I am thinking straight.
Calm down, bro. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Okay. Fourth beast in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, is Rome. That is the beast that the Messiah returned in. The Romans will rule it.
Rome fall?
Yeah, the Western Rome, but the deadly one was here. The Western Roman Empire did fall for a period of 1,000 years.
Okay,
but
that's good.
Prophecy said
I agree with that.
That deadly one will be healed. The Renaissance period brought back Rome, did it not? We're living in Rome now all over again.
So you think that prophecy just keeps being fulfilled and fulfilled and fulfilled?
That's what prophecy's supposed to do.
Let's get down.
He said, so you think that prophecy is just going to keep being fulfilled and fulfilled and fulfilled? Oh, man. Let's get Ecclesiastes 1. And we're just having fun going through the scriptures, doing what we do. You know, ultimately, this is just to show you that when you left the Christian church, you did the right thing. Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. The thing that had been is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. So Rome will rule again. Yes, that's what the Bible talks about. We're in a spiritual Rome, a spiritual Babylon, all over again. The mother of all harlots, all of those idols, all of those, different gods and goddesses and things that, ruled under these different empires is back here ruling today. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It had already been done of old time, which was before us. So this guy is completely gone.
So when is Christ coming to be crucified again?
He's not going to be crucified again. He did once. He only had to do that once. Okay? Now we are making our bodies a living sacrifice.
Exactly.
That he's going to come back and be crucified
It's not
again.
prophesied that Babylon's going to fall twice.
Yeah, this it is, bro.
Let's get.
All right? It's not prophesied that Babylon's going to fall twice. Well, you have Babel, goes back to Nimrod. Then you have the Neo-Babylonian Empire, which is associated with Daniel. Okay, the 7th chapter. Okay, and the 4th verse. This is the Assyrian Babylonian Empire. This is known as the Neo-Babylonian Empire. And then you have Babylon the Great. All right, which the Neo-Babylonian Empire fell, all right, when you get Daniel, the 5th chapter, all right, Belshazzar's feast, when Daniel read, the writing on the wall, okay, and ultimately this is how it fell. Daniel 5 and 28, Peres, thy kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and the Persians. Okay, so there you go. Basically, that's how the Neo-Babylonian Empire fell. It was wars and skirmishes. All right, but when you go to Babylon, let's go to Isaiah 13. Babylon the Great. Isaiah 13 and 19. In Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? So yeah, Babylon is going to fall again, but it's mystery Babylon. And it shall never be inhabited again. It's going to be destroyed as Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. But this thing is never going to be inhabited again. It shall not be dwelt in from generation to generation. So Israel will never be dwelt in from generation to generation. All right. If you're confused with his argument, so are we. I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
It's called Babylon the
This is how
Great.
you get a Christian.
This is
All right, now we're gonna call it. Thank y'all.
We're gonna have dinner.
So as soon as we go into prophecy, they got to go. This is how you scurry a Christian off. Just start going into prophecy. You know, these straw man arguments they want to come with baptism and who can be saved. We already dealt with that. No, we're going to talk about the throne of David. Okay, which when we brought that up, he didn't have no clue what it was. They don't associate the throne of David with heaven. All right, but now they got to go.
As soon as the prophecy starts
This is
coming out.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 7. After this, I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast. Who's the fourth beast?
Who's the fourth?
Who's the fourth beast in Daniel 7? Okay, so that's who was ruling when the Lord came on scene. That's who was ruling. The fourth beast is Rome. Yes, but according to Daniel, it would be healed and rule again. You through. He out of there.
These Christians really don't know.
Then he got dreads. He bugged out.
Israel was ruler during the time of Rome.
Yeah, he out of there.
No, they wasn't.
They were crying for a savior at the time of Rome.
Israel had ruled in a minute.
Right.
Israel has not ruled since King Solomon's united kingdom of Israel. That's the last time the Israelites ruled and had a sovereign government. Okay, at the time of Rome, the Israelites did have, control in a sense of, the temple, but it was only that they sold out to the Roman authorities. They sold out. Okay, this is why John the Baptist separated from the temple, went to the wilderness. YAHAWASHI, okay, he went in there flipping the tables because they had sold out. They were doing things that weren't permitted. Okay, but the ultimately they would not have to have paid taxes. As a matter of fact, this is Matthew 22 and 15. Basically, this would not be happening if this was the Jews ruling. See, the Jews, the Israelites, which is not just going to be the Jews, it's going to be Judah and Ephraim united. All right, won't rule until YAHAWASHI returns. But this is a proof that the Romans were ruling. This is Matthew 22 and 15. Then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. And that's what the Pharisees, that's all they were trying to do, was entangle the Messiah in his talk. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true and teachest the way of God in truth, being demons, being assholes. Neither carest thou for any man, for thou regardest not the person of men. Tell us, therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? So why would the Jews be giving tribute to Caesar while they're ruling? No, Caesar was ruling. Who's Caesar? Let's look up Caesar. Kaiser, Tsar, basically, ruler. Severed. The surname of Julius Caesar, which adopted by Octavius Augustus and his successors afterward, became a title and was appropriated by the Roman emperors as a part of their title. I'm going to do another video going into Revelation 11 and 18, but I'm going to end this on here. It says, but YAHAWASHI perceived their wickedness, all right, because basically they were trying to trap him up in his words so that they can go back to the Roman officials to say that the Messiah is teaching not to pay taxes. See that? Niggas, man. But YAHAWASHI perceived their wickedness and said, Why tempt ye me, ye hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. All right. And you're thinking just a penny. All right. But that was dealing with the denarius. And he said unto them, Whose image is on this subscription? Superscription. And they said unto him, Caesar's. Just like right now, we pull out money. Whose face is on the money? Caesar all over again. The rulers, Edomites. Then said he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the thing of the Caesars, and unto God the thing that are God's. And when they had heard these words, they marveled and left him and went their way, because they couldn't trap him up. But anyway,
It's a hell with the prophecy.
6 years. 6 years, and that's when he came up with it.
The spirit of Jesus Christ, right? The spirit of Jesus Christ is the spirit of prophecy. Yet prophecy don't matter to them. I thought you loved Jesus though.
so that's that. Through, through, as they say, they run when prophecy come back, and the daughter of Babylon is going to be destroyed, man. That's America. We'll be right back. All right, we'll be right back. Do a little something. Come right back. We're gonna go into Revelation 11 and 18 and show you what that means, and we're gonna get up out of here. Shalom.